The New Orleans Saints just stepped off the practice field looking like a team that shredded its past overnight, and the sudden spark has fans double-checking the calendar to make sure this is still only June. Players who once went through the motions are now sprinting from drill to drill, trash-talking in good fun, and laughing so hard after each rep that the sideline feels like a high-stakes playground. Nobody saw this emotional jolt coming so soon after a lost season, yet here it is, rewriting every early prediction with one simple message: something big is taking root. The catalyst is Kellen Moore, the new head coach who ditched the usual clipboard routine for paintball skirmishes, late-night pudding contests, and playlist battles that echo across the entire complex. Alvin Kamara summed it up after the last session when he said the locker room has a brand new energy I have never felt here before. Practices now last a little longer, music thumps a little louder, and veterans who once paced themselves are pushing through extra reps because the culture suddenly rewards max effort. Even casual observers can feel the shift, and that tremor is traveling fast through a fan base hungry for hope. But while fresh vibes and team bonding light up social media, the real test of this new era waits under center, where two young quarterbacks refuse to blink. Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler traded highlight throws all week, and the gap between them is shrinking by the hour. The next snap could tilt the entire depth chart, and in the very next segment we will crack open that brewing duel to reveal who is quietly seizing control of the Saints' future. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Saints and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. For the first time in years, the Saints quarterback room doesn't feel like a placeholder. It feels like a proving ground. Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler are locked in a battle where every rep, every read, and every mistake could swing momentum. Shuck, the rookie from Texas Tech, came into minicamp with questions about his consistency, but by the end of the week, he left reporters buzzing after stacking back-to-back sharp practices. His timing improved, his command sharpened, and the quiet confidence he showed in the huddle is starting to echo across the building. But don't get it twisted, Spencer Rattler isn't backing down. The second-year quarterback still has the edge in NFL experience and flashed plenty of arm talent during OTAs. While Shuck may have stolen the minicamp spotlight, Rattler isn't fading. Instead, he's responded with poise, pushing the tempo and taking more downfield risks. What makes this battle fascinating is how even it really is. Neither guy is flinching, and both are improving under pressure. The twist is that this isn't just about who looks better in drills. It's about who more trusts when the real bullets fly in preseason. And that brings us to the next question every Saints fan is asking: who's going to be their ultimate safety valve in this offense? Because right now, the tight end room is shifting fast, and one name is quietly preparing for a monster season. KoolAid McKinstry came into camp with something to prove, and he didn't waste a second making noise. After flashing potential as a rookie in 2024, he showed up to minicamp a completely sharper version of himself. Faster in coverage, more aggressive at the catch point, and always around the ball, he looked like a player ready to take over the CB1 job. And the moment he switched to jersey number 4, it felt like a signal. He's not waiting for a promotion, he's chasing it. The Saints secondary has questions, especially with Marshawn Lattimore no longer anchoring the unit. That's why McKinstry's leap in year 2 is so critical. Reports say he had multiple pass breakups throughout camp and consistently disrupted timing between receivers and quarterbacks. And it wasn't just highlight moments, it was sustained dominance. Add in rookie Quincy Riley, who's already generating his own buzz, and this young, affordable cornerback group is starting to feel like a hidden strength. This isn't just about individual growth, it's about reshaping an entire unit. KoolAid isn't just improving, he's setting the tone. And in a secondary that many considered a weakness heading into the offseason, he's suddenly the player that gives it purpose. But even that doesn't happen in isolation. Someone is creating that spark behind the curtain, and Kellen Moore's imprint on this defense might be the biggest story nobody's talking about. Kellen Moore didn't just bring a new playbook to New Orleans, he brought a total reboot. From the first whistle of minicamp, it was clear this wasn't the same team that staggered through last season. Moore's fingerprints are all over the building. Players are practicing harder, competing louder, and connecting off the field in ways this locker room hasn't seen in years. What stands out isn't just the structure, it's the attitude. Every session feels like it matters. Every rep feels like it's setting the tone for something bigger. The most surprising part isn't what Moore is calling on the field, it's what he's building off of it. Veterans are laughing with rookies, Coaches are stepping into shooting contests and golf outings. Even practice cancellations turn into team bonding moments. Moore has cracked a code that past regimes never solved. If you build trust in the locker room, you unlock results on the field. And the players aren't just buying in, they're all in. That shift in culture is starting to influence everything, including how Moore plans to use his weapons. And one room that's suddenly full of opportunity is the tight end group. Between injuries, new signings, and quiet chemistry already forming, the Saints might be on the verge of unlocking something special, and it starts with one player who's been waiting for this moment. Inside the Saints facility, the loudest whispers are circling the tight end room. 1 week ago, the depth chart looked settled. Now it feels like a live puzzle that changes every practice. Coaches keep shifting the lineup, searching for the perfect mix of size, hands, and speed. Every catch and red zone work has teammates yelling like it is fourth quarter in January because they all sense an opening that could reshape the offense. Juwan Johnson sees it first. The veteran towers over every wide receiver on the roster and is moving with new purpose after signing his 3-year deal. Kellen Moore is feeding him seam routes and jump balls, and Johnson keeps answering. Behind him, the news is mixed. Taysom Hill still rehabs his knee, and no one inside the building will stamp a return date. Foster Moreau wears a bulky brace and works on the side field. Into that uncertainty steps Seth Green, fresh from the UFL and eager to prove he can do more than run scout team routes. Add rookie Maliki Matavau, and journeyman Jack Stoll, and Moore suddenly has a cabinet full of parts that can be arranged any way he wants. With this position still unsettled, the roster churn is far from finished, and that spirit of competition is spilling into every other meeting room. Linebackers are stealing reps with the ones. Young tackles are flashing against seasoned pass rushers. The next wave of camp standouts is arriving fast, and a few unheralded rookies are already forcing coaches to rewrite their depth charts. Their names might be new to casual fans, but the impact they are making could decide games by November. The Saints didn't need to wait for preseason games to find surprises. Some of the biggest storylines in minicamp came from names nobody had circled on day one. Rookie linebacker Danny Stutzman has turned heads with his speed and instincts. When veterans sat out drills, Danny stepped into first-team reps without blinking. He's not just reacting, he's diagnosing plays like someone who's already spent years in the league. Coaches are impressed by how quickly he's picking up the system, and teammates have started leaning on him to make calls at the line. Then there's Talius Fuaga. The second-year tackle is back at his natural position on the right side, and the shift looks like a game-changer. He held his own against elite pass rushers last season, and now, with Kelvin Banks expected to take over the left side, Fuaga is playing faster and more confidently than ever. It's clear the coaching staff sees him as a core piece in this new-look offensive line. His power and discipline stood out every day in practice, even without full pads. But these breakout names are just the beginning. Multiple young players are forcing veterans to look over their shoulders. Quincy Riley is pushing for snaps in the secondary. Trevor Penning is embracing his move to guard. The depth is getting tested early, and instead of shrinking, these rookies and second-year players are stepping into the spotlight. But while new faces are rising, there's quiet concern growing around one specific position group, where even the slightest slip could cost someone their job. The Saints' running back room, once seen as a secure position group, now looks uncertain after a shaky minicamp showing. Alvin Kamara is still the unquestioned leader, but Kendre Miller failed to impress. Clyde Edwards-Helaire remained quiet, and rookie Devin Neal is still finding his footing. The unexpected tryout of veteran Cam Akers signaled that the team might be looking for more reliable depth, raising questions about the current backups. While it's not a crisis yet, every back behind Kamara is now under serious evaluation as training camp approaches. Still, the mood around the team remains optimistic, driven by a deeper belief that the Saints are building towards something far more sustainable than a quick fix. The biggest win for the Saints this offseason isn't a trade or a headline, it's patience. For the first time in a long while, New Orleans isn't chasing short-term fixes. They're building a foundation. Every move from drafting Tyler Shuck to shifting Trevor Penning inside shows a clear plan built on growth, not gimmicks. This isn't about making noise in June, it's about winning in December 2 years from now. And the people inside the building know that. They're not rushing it. They're doubling down on development, chemistry, and long-term vision. No one's pretending the road will be smooth. There will be setbacks. But the Saints have made it clear. This is not a patch job, it's a total reset. Year 1 may bring more questions than answers, but Year 2 could explode with results. And by year 3, the rest of the NFC might be looking at New Orleans in a very different way. Because what they're building now isn't hype, it's something that could actually last.